What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Friday, January 30th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a thank you to me for recording very, very sick once again, take that 10th of a second and slam that like button. It really helps get the videos promoted out there across YouTube. Helps keep me motivated to grind out these videos even when I am feeling very, very under the weather, and just, helps us keep things pointed in the right direction here on the channel. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Big shout out to all the new subscribers we've been getting recently. We're on the road to 100,000. Let's hope we can make it to that number this year. Also, guys, get down in the comments and let us know anything that you're thinking about, any plays you're looking at today over the entire sports world, especially over the college basketball and NBA slates. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I have been a little bit under the weather, but I still answer as many comments as I can every single day, and I guaranteed see your comments every single day. They come through on my phone. So big shout out to everybody that gets down in the comments. Also, make sure you're checking that pinned comment. It's the top comment below the video. That's where you'll find my favorite picks for every single video, every single solitary day. So definitely make sure you're checking in on those. In terms of a recap, things are looking pretty bleak. Turns out recording extremely under the weather and while I was running a fever was not a great idea yesterday, because off to a rough start, breaking out on the 76ers, Bucks, and FAU's getting destroyed right now. Still got the Hornets live. The Washington Huskies getting 12.5 points are looking very, very strong so far in the early goings there against Illinois. Hopefully they can hold on. The Thunder are also off to a weak start there in their game. So we'll see if we can turn things around. Might not be the best day out there for us, though, on Thursday. So hopefully Friday we can bring things back a little bit. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let's go ahead and let's dive in. Let's dive right in, get after it. Let's see how long my voice will last for this one. Right out of the gates here, we've got the Los Angeles Lakers heading to Washington to take on the Wizards. The Lakers come into this game fresh off a pretty disappointing 129-99 loss there against the Cavaliers. LeBron got emotional during his intro video or whatever, but then played terrible. He was a minus 23. Luka had 29 points, was a minus 23 himself. Nobody off the bench played particularly well, except for Gabe Vincent. Actually put in some pretty good shooting numbers, but they shoot the ball really poorly. They came up with a very, very weak result there in Cleveland. So we'll see if they can do a little bit better here as the road trip continues. Obviously playing the Wizards should be good for pretty much anybody. The bad news is Luka and Austin Reeves are both on the injury report. Now, Luka, he's questionable due to left ankle soreness, so that's something to keep an eye on for sure. Austin Reeves is questionable due to that left calf strain, so we'll see what he looks like in this one. Could be his first game back. That would be a pretty big boost there for the Lakers, although I do expect him to be on a minutes restriction. The Wizards, they come into this game fresh off back-to-back wins. They took down the Trailblazers and took down the Bucks their last time out. They will be playing on no rest, so this is not a super heavily updated injury report, but we do think they'll be relatively healthy with the possible exception there of Trey Jones. Oh, yeah, Trey Jones definitely won't play. Yeah, he rolled his ankle in that game. Yeah, he will not be playing here on back-to-back nights. There's no shot. So other than that, they are going to be healthy and ready to go for this one. The Wizards obviously have had a pretty rough season. In that win over the Bucks, they played well. Don't get me wrong. Keontae George played well in that game, or Keyshawn George played well in that game. 23 points, pretty efficient shooting numbers, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Really, Alex Sarr is the star of this team and should be the star of this team moving forward. So we'll see what they can do here. They're getting 7.5 points at home. We've got a total of 233.5. The Lakers are 14-12 against spread on the road, 12-5 against spread after a loss, 26-20 to the over. Washington is 10-12 against spread at home, 3-4 against spread on no rest, 23-22 to the under. Washington's also very bad against the spread this year, coming off a win, so I will be taking the Lakers here to win this one comfortably. I think a bounce-back game is in order here for LeBron. I think whether or not Luka plays won't be the end of the world, although if he does play, that's obviously a big boost. Also, if Reeves comes back, I think he will help in general, especially in this matchup. So definitely give me the Lakers here to win this one pretty handily. Next up, we're going to the Toronto Raptors, heading to Orlando to take on the Magic. The Raptors are 29-20 on the season. They're coming off a 119-92 loss there at home against the Knicks. Not their best showing in that game, honestly. Brandon Ingram did some positive stuff. He actually had a really good night, but other than that, it was a little bit bleak. RJ Barrett had a terrible shooting night. Scotty Barnes was fine, maybe not dominant. I'm not going to say anything too bad about how he played, but a pretty weak performance there from Emmanuel Quickley, and nobody really went particularly nuts coming off the bench either. So the Raptors definitely in a little bit of a bounce-back spot. They'd been playing well coming into that game, and honestly, they're a very dangerous team when healthy, and they are fully healthy coming into this one. The Orlando Magic are 24-22 on the season. They're coming off a win over the Heat, played much better than I expected. Palabanchero had a big night, and he's really broken out of his early season swoon. He's been playing well. Anthony Black snapped out of a little mini slump there. He played well. Desmond Bane shot the ball well, played well in general. So a lot of positives there for the Orlando Magic. We'll see if they can keep it rolling here. Their injury situation this season has been a problem, but right now they're healthy and ready to go with the exception of Franz Wagner. I don't think that's the end of the world. They've got to be pretty used to playing games without him at this point. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Magic, they're actually 1.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 221.5. Toronto is 15-10 against spread on the road, 8-11 against spread after loss, 30-19 to the under. Orlando is 9-12 against spread at home, 7-16 against the spread after a win, 23-23 to the over/under. This obviously looks like a bit of a tough spot, guys, and it is a bounce back situation for the Raptors, but they are it's a pretty long trip there from Toronto to Orlando. Give me the Magic here playing at home. I think they can string together a couple good games in a row and take care of business here against a Raptors team that really isn't looking that great at the moment. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Sacramento Kings heading to Boston to take on the Celtics. The Kings come into this game fresh off a 2-point loss against the 76ers. They've now lost 7 straight games. Obviously, there are guys on the Kings that are kind of trying to, position themselves for potential NBA jobs down the road. DeMar DeRozan should definitely be on a lot of teams' radars. He's playing great, but not loving what we're seeing from really anybody else. I mean, Sabonis, I think, could be useful for a lot of teams. Schroeder is coming off a hot shooting night. We'll see if that can continue, but this squad overall, just not having a very good time this season. Now they got to play on back-to-back nights, which is not usually their forte. Obviously, we don't have a super updated injury report. Westbrook and Malik Monk did miss the game there on Thursday. We'll see if they come back for this one on Friday. I'm not sure how big of a difference that's going to make, though, as they head to Boston to take on the Celtics, who at 29-18 on the season have been playing pretty well. Still apparently up in the air whether or not Tatum is going to come back or not this season. I think that he will. I'd be very surprised to see him not. The Celtics are coming off a 117-106 loss there against the Atlanta Hawks. They just didn't have any great answers there for guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It was just kind of a down shooting night. The Celtics shoot 26% from three. They dominate the boards in this game, so certainly a spot I would expect the Celtics to, they're usually going to win that game. They just have an off shooting night. We do see some kind of a concerning news on the injury front. Jaylen Brown is doubtful for this game due to a right knee contusion and left hamstring tightness, so sounds like they'll be trying to make it work without him. That being said, the Celtics are still 11.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 227.5. The Kings are only 8-15 against the spread on the road. They are 2-6 against the spread on no rest. They are 25-23 to the under. Boston is 10-12 against spread at home, 10-7 against spread after a loss, 28-19 to the under. Maybe you could talk me into under in this game, actually. In terms of a side, though, I will take the Celtics at minus 11.5. Even with Jaylen Brown out, I just don't trust the Kings here playing on back-to-back nights. They're not a very good team. That being said, no Jaylen Brown means no bet on the Celtics for me. Before we jump in and break down the Portland Trailblazers heading to New York to take on the Knicks, we got to shout out the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. A couple pretty insane things cooking over there at StumpTheSpread.com. First of all, hockey coming off a massive winning night over there on the premium side, going 4-1 overall, cashing a 2-unit play there on the Islanders. Only loss there was the Predators, cashing a nice over bet there on Colorado, Montreal, I believe that was, and just very good work over there on the premium NHL side. Also, on the email newsletter, cashing a 33-1 underdog there on Justin Rose to lead after the first round. He was tied, I believe, with 6 holes to go and ends up, coming out on top there, cashing a 33-1 play there for the email newsletter participants. So definitely, guys, get over to StumpTheSpread.com and check out the all the premium picks over there. For sure, a fantastic resource right now. So many sports going on. We've got a team of experts over there covering all the major sports. And guys, those picks are usually not going to match what you see from me here in the videos, as I'm not the premium NHL, college football, NFL handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We have a team of experts covering all the major sports, and those dudes have tons of experience. They're taking a ton of different data points into consideration on every single solitary play. And NHL, guys, has been absolutely cooking. So definitely get over there and check that out. But you also got to check out the free picks. There are free picks every single day at StumpTheSpread.com under the free picks tab. But better than the free picks tab, guys, is that free email newsletter. A 33-1 winner there on the golf side. Crazy stuff. Absolutely nuts week last week on the PGA Tour as well. So definitely get in on that email newsletter. It'll have regular free picks in it, but also big golf write-ups every single week, UFC write-ups, all the niche sports are covered in those emails. Just a treasure trove of great sports betting information every single solitary day. All you got to do to sign up is go to StumpTheSpread.com and set up a free account. The rest for your name and your email address, that's it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day, just jam-packed with great sports betting info. So definitely make sure you're taking advantage of that. Also, get over to stumpthespread.com. You can pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie over there if you're interested. They're being sold right now for $40. That's at cost with free shipping. So definitely pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie if you're interested in that. And guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from me here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get the name up on screen in every single video, but maybe more importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single solitary Monday. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin it live on the video, just like we do every single solitary Monday. Whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. Now, guys, make sure you've hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you've gotten over to stumpthespread.com. Check out everything we offer over there. And let's dive back in. Next up, we got the Portland Trailblazers heading to New York to take on the Knicks. The Blazers come into this game fresh off a third straight loss. They just lost 115-111 at Washington. That's a pretty freaking bad loss. Obviously, this Portland team seemed to have higher aspirations this season, but things just did not go great. Denny Adjeva, kind of a bad game. He was a -9. Shady Sharp led the team 31 points. A good night from him. We liked what we saw from Jrue Holiday in terms of his plus-minus, but that was it. He had a terrible offensive night and nothing too crazy coming from the bench. So definitely a bounce-back spot here for Portland after a terrible loss. They're pretty much fully healthy, except for Denny Adjeva, as usual, is on the injury report with those lower back issues. So we'll see if he can play in this one. They're going to need him as they head to Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks, who've won 4 straight games. They're coming off a win in Toronto, winning 119-92. So a solid win there. The Knicks have really turned things around after that players only meeting. Guys like OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, they've really seemed to lock in after hearing their names in a bunch of trade rumors. So that seems to have settled itself. Karl Anthony Towns did not have a very good offensive game there against Toronto, but he did put up 22 rebounds and was a big part of why they won this game. So not going to cast too many aspersions on a guy for having an off shooting night in the middle of January. They're relatively healthy coming in this one. We do see Josh Hart and Miles McBride on the injury report. Hart is questionable due to right ankle soreness, and Miles McBride dealing with an ankle issue is questionable for this game. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Knicks are 7.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 227.5. Portland, they're 12-12 against spread on the road. 14-10 against spread after loss, 25-23 to the under. The Knicks are 16-8 against spread at home, 17-12 against spread after win, and they're a 500 over-under team. Guys, this is a little bit of a tough spot. I am going to shade it just slightly here towards the Blazers since they're in such a big bounce-back spot, and I think this could be a close game, but I'm not sure if I like them enough to put them in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies heading to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. The Grizzlies are having a rough time. They're 18-27 on the season. Ja's going to be out for who knows how long. They're coming off a 15-point loss there against the Hornets, and just not a lot of things are going right for this team right now. I mean, in that loss, Jaren Jackson Jr. put up good numbers. Cedric Coward actually played pretty well, but yeah, as a team, they got destroyed on the boards, and there's just not a lot left to cling to for this roster right now. I mean, Santi Aldama's going to be out. Scottie Pippen Jr., Ty Jerome, they're all out, and they're going to need to put something together here against a Pelicans team that's actually playing a lot better. They played a very hotly contested game with a lot of terrible officiating involved in that 104-95 loss at the Thunder. We were on the Pelicans getting 14.5 points, so we weren't too upset, but Zion played well. He's been playing pretty consistently these days, and that's been a big boost, and they're very healthy coming this game. Like starting lineup of Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Sadiq Bey, Zion, and Derek Queen is not a bad starting lineup at all. So we'll see what they can do in this one. They are favorites at home. They're 2.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 235.5. Memphis, they're 9-11 against spread on the road, 12-14 against spread after a loss, 26-19 to the under. The Pelicans are 15-10-1 against spread at home, 19-6-1 against spread after a loss, 25-24 to the over. Guys, I like the Pelicans here quite a bit at -2.5. I think they're the better team by far right now. The Grizzlies are in really, really bad shape. I don't even know how motivated they are to win right now. I definitely think this is a great spot to back the Pelicans. Rolling right along here, guys, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers heading to Phoenix to take on the Suns. The Cavaliers are 29-20 on the season. They're coming off a 129-99 beat down there at the Lakers, and having won 5 in a row, maybe they're turning the corner here. This team was one of the bigger letdowns in the early season, but they looked great down the stretch. They're kind of getting healthier, I guess. I mean, Donovan Mitchell playing well, Jarrett Allen playing well, Sam Merrill coming back, although he played terrible. Jalen Tyson's been a huge boost for this team kind of out of nowhere. DeAndre Hunter's playing well despite that trade request, so So we'll have to see what goes on with this team down the stretch. But right now they're looking pretty good. They come into this game looking, I would say, very healthy with, obviously the normal guys. I mean, Darius Garland's the normal guy to have out. Evan Mobley is dealing with a calf issue. He's not going to be back. He will not be playing in this game. So we'll see what they can do here in Phoenix. They're taking on a Suns team that could be a little bit tired. They're up big at halftime over Detroit right now. They will be playing on no rest here, so we'll see how that goes. But the Suns have been missing Devin Booker. That's not helpful. Jalen Green has also been missing time, so we'll see what goes on. Jalen Green not playing in that game. Devin Booker won't be back for at least a week, so they won't have either one of them. But right now, this Suns team has been one of the tougher outs around. They're getting 3.5 points at home. We've got a total of 230.5 in this game. Cleveland, they're 10-11 against spread on the road, 11-17 against spread after win, 27-22 to the under. The Suns are 15-6 against spread at home, 4-3 against spread on no rest, 28-19 to the under. Despite all that, guys, we got to jump on the Cavaliers here. This is an opening line, so it could move quite a bit, but I'm going to lock this in. Get whatever you can down here early on the Cavaliers, because even with no Mobley, they're in great shape here against a Suns team that's just going to be totally gassed, playing on back-to-back nights and coming off a very, physical game against the Pistons. Whether they win or lose, I think they're going to be very, very tired. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Los Angeles Clippers heading to Denver to take on the Nuggets. The Clippers are 22-24 on the season. They're coming off a 12-point win in Utah, so well played there. Kawhi leading the way with only 21 points, but he only played 28 minutes. We saw from Harden, although his shooting numbers weren't great, his assist numbers were very good. Good, production off the bench from Brook Lopez. Every once in a while, he just has one of these pop-off games. Jordan Miller had 11 off the bench, and in general, the Clippers have just kept things pointed in the right direction here down the stretch. They're looking like a very dangerous team. As per usual, we do see Kawhi on the injury report. We'll have to wait and see if he's actually available to play in this game. He's officially questionable with that knee issue, but I do, generally speaking, expect him to play in this game in Denver. So we'll see what happens. The Nuggets are in bad shape once again. They will be playing on no rest in this one. They're currently up by 12 in the third quarter there over the Nets, which is nice, but losing Aaron Gordon for at least the next 6 weeks with a hamstring issue, that is a big, big problem. This team has just been just decimated by injuries this season. We'll see if they can make it through all that, but yeah, that remains to be seen. Obviously, we don't have a super updated injury report since they are currently playing right now, but I would be a little bit shocked if they're at anywhere close to full strength. Guys like Valanciunas or Jamal Murray could potentially sit out the back half of this back-to-back, but we'll see what happens. The Nuggets are currently being listed as 3.5-point favorites here at home. There's no way that's actually correct. That must have been a falsely reported opening line. We'll do a little double check here. That Clippers are 5.5-point favorites. That makes an awful lot more sense. Go ahead and change that real quick. Now, the Nuggets are getting 5.5 points at home. We got a total of 226.5. The Clippers are 12-12 against spread on the road, 12-9 against spread after win, 24-22 to the under. Denver is 11-10 against spread at home, 6-3 against spread on no rest, 28-19 to the over. Guys, this no rest thing is not going to continue here for the Nuggets. Definitely give me the Clippers here at anything less than double digits. I think they win this game walking away against the Nuggets team that's just going to be absolutely, positively, 100% exhausted. Heading into our last couple of NBA games before we hop over and cover those few college basketball games, we got the Brooklyn Nets going on the road to take on the Utah Jazz. Now, the Nets, they're 12-33 on the season. They're currently down by 8 against the Nuggets there in the third quarter, so we'll see how that one finishes up, but they were on at least a 6-game losing streak headed into that one, so it has not been smooth sailing for the Nets. They've been a little bit banged up, missing a few guys there. The main character on this team is Michael Porter Jr. We'll see. I do expect him to be healthy and playing in this game, despite it being on back-to-back nights, but obviously you have to wait and see for that a little bit, especially with the Nets being a team that might not be super invested and being super competitive on a night-to-night basis. So, like I said, we'll have to wait and see what they end up having available for this game. As they head to Utah to take on the Jazz, who have lost 4 straight themselves, they're coming off a pretty, they lost 140-124 against the Warriors. And it's been pretty crazy to watch this franchise just pull the plug on this season. Obviously, that was going to be the goal all along, to just tank things out, but it's been pretty nuts. We've seen Markkanen missing tons of time due to conditioning. Yeah, sounds like he didn't play due to rest purposes there against the Brooklyn Nets. He did play against the Warriors and the Clippers, so they got him back out there a little bit, but they are not going to be playing this dude if they can ever possibly avoid it. And that's just kind of the name of the game here for the Utah Jazz. They are 2.5-point favorites coming into this one. We've got a total of 227.5. Brooklyn is 10-11-1 against spread on the road, 1-7 against spread on no rest, 26-19 to the under. The Jazz are 15-11 against spread at home, 17-15 against spread for loss, 30-18 to the over. I just can't imagine the Jazz being able to rest everybody for this game once again. It seems pretty nuts. I would assume they'll have to play Markkanen in this one, but maybe they'll rest Keontae George. This game's going to be a wait-and-see spot for me mostly. I will lean slightly towards the Jazz, despite the fact they're trying to lose games so hard, but in this spot against a Nets team that's so bad on no rest, I think we have to consider taking the Utah Jazz. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Detroit Pistons heading to Golden State to take on the Warriors. The Pistons are 34-11 on the season, but they're having a lot of trouble right now with the Suns. They're down by 11 there in the third quarter. We'll see what they can do. So far, pretty much, what you would expect from everybody. Tobias Harris having a decent night. Jalen Duren putting up big numbers. Cade playing well. So we'll see if the Pistons can make a comeback in this one. Obviously, we don't have an updated injury report. We do still expect Karis LeVert to be out. But like I've said many times, I do look at that as something of a positive. I think this Detroit bench is actually better off without him at the moment. So we'll see what they can get done. Obviously, the Pistons have been very, very good this season. They will be playing here on no rest as they head to Golden State to take on the Warriors, who are coming off a comfortable win there over the Jazz. A lot of trade rumors swirling around the Warriors right now, revolving around the potential for them making a move for Giannis. I don't know if any of that is real or not. We'll see. That would be a pretty big departure from what the Warriors, front office has been, acting like they want to do, which is, build for the future and just waste the rest of Steph's career. But we'll see what happens. The injury report coming into this one looks totally clean for them. Obviously, Kuminga is still out, but other than that, they're healthy, rested, and ready to go. The Warriors are getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 225.5. Detroit, they are 10-11 against the spread on the road, 3-4 against the spread on no rest, 25-19-1 to the under. The Warriors are 14-10 against spread at home, 11-15 against spread after win, 29-20 to the over. Guys, unless there's a bunch of injuries or a bunch of dudes resting for the Pistons, we have to take the Pistons here at -1.5. The Warriors just aren't that good. The Pistons are by far the better team. They're way better defensively, and defense tends to travel well. I know they are coming off a game in Phoenix, and they played at Denver, at Phoenix, now at Golden State, but I think they'll be fine here, giving the Pistons playing on the road. Now, guys, hopping over to look at 3 of the biggest college basketball games on the slate here for Friday. We've got the number 3 Michigan Wolverines heading to Michigan State to take on the number 7 Spartans. Michigan, they come into this game 19-1 on the season. They've been killing it. They're coming off a 75-72 win over Nebraska. That was a big, big win, albeit they were at home and everything, but still a very, very solid showing against an elite level opponent. They haven't had a crazy amount of success against elite level opponents this year, but that was a big, big win for sure. I mean, I guess they took down Gonzaga. How good Gonzaga is still feels very much up in the air to me. So we'll see what they can do. I mean, they're 9-1 in Big Ten play. They've obviously been an elite level team all year long. They're 11th in the nation total offense, 18th in total rebounding. Their defensive numbers are good. There's really no reason to not like this Michigan team. They're going on the road to take on Michigan State. The Spartans are 19-2 on the season. There's very little reason to dislike them as well. They're coming off a 9-point win over Rutgers, a really bad Rutgers team. Seems like it might have been a bit of a look-ahead spot there. They are a very lockdown defensive team. Giving up 63.5 points per game is kind of wild. They lost to Nebraska, but it was a very, very close game. They lost to Duke, but it was also extremely close. They haven't had a crazy amount of step-up wins either, but this team is so good defensively and so good on the boards that they can really pretty much hang with anybody. So we'll see what they can get done in this one, guys. They're getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 145.5. Michigan is 0-5 against the spread on the road this year. They're 13-7 to the under. Michigan State is 5-6-1 against the spread at home, 15-6 to the under themselves. We could maybe take the under in what figures to be a bit of a rock fight of a game. Seems like there's not going to be a crazy amount of offense, but better than that, I will just go ahead and take Michigan here on the road. I'm very concerned about the fact they're 0-5 against spread on the road, so this will not be making the pinned comment, but I do think the Wolverines are the side you want in this one. I just think they have too much offensive talent. I think they'll overwhelm what Michigan State is trying to do defensively. Next up, guys, we're headed out to the A10. We're looking at the Dayton Flyers going on the road to take the number 21 St. Louis Pelicans. The Flyers have lost 3 straight games, losing at LaSalle by 3, losing at St. Joseph's by 7, and losing to Rhode Island 81-76. This is definitely a down year for Dayton. Not looking so good. 5-3 in A10 play. Javon Bennett is a solid leading scorer, but being in the 200s in the nation total offense isn't great. Their defense is not good enough to sustain those kind of numbers, and this team is really, really bad on the glass, like surprisingly bad, like 380th in the nation kind of bad on the board. So that's not going to earn you a lot of wins. The Pelicans, they come into this game 8-0 in conference play. They're 20-1 on the season. They have avoided elite level competition all year long. Their one loss was to Stanford. We'll see by only a single point. We'll see what they can do in this one. They're coming off a 3-point win there over George Washington, so a very close game there. This team, guys, is 10th in the nation total offense. They're also 10th in the nation total rebounding. They figure to dominate on the boards in this game, albeit against an opponent that has faced tougher competition. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do here. The Pelicans are at home for this game. They are 11.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 151.5. Dayton, only 2-4 against the spread on the road. They are 13-8 to the under. St. Louis, they are 9-4 against the spread at home, 11-9 to the over. This is a tough spot, especially with how poorly Dayton has been playing recently. It's hard to get on board with this one, but I feel like 11.5 is just too many points. Give me the Dayton Flyers here on the road. I think they've got enough pride in this spot to make it a very competitive game. Will they win? I don't think so. Will they keep this to single digits? That seems much more likely to me. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Loyola Chicago Ramblers going on the road, just taking the VCU Rams, also out there in the 8-10. Loyola Chicago's been terrible this year. They're 5-17 overall. They're 1-8 in conference play. They're coming off an 85-64 loss at the hands of St. Joseph. Definitely not a great look there. They lost by 12 to Duquesne a little bit ago. Lost by 14 against St. Bonaventure. Got blown out by Dayton, losing that one by 27. So they haven't kept a lot of games competitive. We'll see what they can do here against VCU, a team that they've had some battles with in the past for sure. This team, not great offensively, that's for sure, but the defense can put up some decent showings occasionally. The rebounding is definitely not elite either, but once again is one of those things that they can actually seemingly throttle up occasionally and put in a good performance or two. So we'll see what they can do with that. They're going on the road here to take on VCU. The Rams, they've been pretty decent this year. They're 6-2 in conference play, 15-6 overall. They're coming off a win over Richmond, but they only won that game by 8 points. They beat Davidson before that, but only won that one by 6. Beat St. Joseph's before that, only won that one by 7. They are 51st in the nation in total offense, but their rebounding numbers are not elite. Their defensive numbers are fine, but also not elite. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The odds makers are giving them a crazy amount of respect. The Rams are 20.5-point favorites here at home. We got a total of 151.5 in this game. Loyola Chicago's only 1-5 against spread on the road, 12-10 to the over. VCU's only 5-8 against the spread at home, 11-10 to the over themselves. Guys, I got to take those 20.5 points. It's just too much. Give me Loyola Chicago here on the road getting 20.5. I don't think there's any chance they win this game. I do think they can keep it vaguely respectable and lose by like 15 or 16, and that's all we need in this one to get us the win here, and this could potentially be our dog of the day. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and as a huge thank you to me for recording while very, very under the weather. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. On the road to 100K. Let's see if we can make that dream a reality. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I at least see, if not read and answer every single comment I get. Thank you all for watching. Big shout out to every single one of you. Make sure you click the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out those incredibly hot NHL premium picks. Also, get on that email newsletter so you don't miss out on any more 33-1 winners there on the golf side. Crazy, crazy value coming out in those emails every single solitary day. We'll see you guys right back here again tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.